rock and roll. Alright, those are the drills. Now I'm going to do 2 moves that I'm pretty particular on when it comes to teaching. You've got your way of doing things, which is fine, but when it comes to teaching basic defense and a basic sweep single, I do want you to teach it this way. Okay? Let me hit the sweep single first. We've got a basic straight in single leg, which you can teach, and that's fine. Okay, basic straight in single leg is going to be really leg. Basic straight in single, boom. Just right there like that. Okay, so I come in, hit it, and I drive it off. Sweep single, on the other hand, is where I'm sweeping. I'm getting the angle. So here's how I teach it. First, my back leg is going to back step. And if basically I'm not stepping back like this, so the name is kind of misleading. I'm just going to step to the side. This leg, which is my back leg, is going to step over here and it's going to meet my front leg. Right, like this. So I make a little 90-degree angle with my legs. That's step number 1. Here. Step number 2, this leg's going to penetrate, but here's the key. It's not penetrating with my toe straight. It's penetrating to the side. My toe is going to come perpendicular to my opponent. And then I'm lowering my level. So I penetrate right here. The way that I teach this is I tell the guys it's like you're going surfing. You know, when you're surfing, you're kind of like this, toes pointing this way, and you're trying to balance on the surfboard. It's the same sort of concept. So I back step, and then I go surfing. And I lower my level. I'm squatting down, I'm low. Next, this knee is just going to go straight down, and then the back leg is going to whip around. That's why we call it a sweep. So front knee goes down, back leg whips around, just like this. So now I got the angle on the guy. So one more time. I got double inside control, or maybe I've got a V-block and inside control, or I've got a collar tie and inside control. The commonalities, no matter what setup I do, by and large, is I'm going to start with inside control on the opposite side. So if I'm shooting at this side, my inside control wants to be on the opposite side. So how did I do it? V-block this time. So inside control on the opposite side, V-block right here. That's going to be my setup. I'm pushing, he's fighting back because he doesn't like being V-blocked. Who does? And then I step back, I go surfing, I lower my level, knee goes down, and I sweep around. Right there. And then the finish from here, there's a lot of different finishes from a sweep single. The basic one that I teach, first off, and I make sure the guys get really good at this one before I move on, is we just chase the opposite ankle. So I'm going to get on my toes, I'm going to go 1, 2, so I'm just shifting, knees together, knees apart, shift out, and I'm going to chase that opposite ankle. Here. I get my 2 points. I have to get on my toes, I got to circle around and reach for that opposite ankle with my back hand. I'm not reaching with my front. Guys will do this. They'll get thrown on their back like this. I'm going to reach in my back instead. So I got the leg here, I go 1, 2, and it's the same thing with my arms. 1, 2. And I'm sinking that shoulder deeper into the hamstring as I do that. So it's all looking like this. Here. And then from here, I'm just going to get on my toes, I'm going to circle. Chase the, just like the name implies, chase the opposite ankle. Okay, so a couple times all the way through. Here, make sure that leg's in front. So here, he pushes back. And again. Okay, really whip that back leg around. So without a partner, you might want to have them do this without a partner for a while. In fact, we do this drill a lot, where just real quick after we do our stance and motion, beginning practice, I'll have them do 15, 20 swoop singles without a partner, because it gets used to really whipping that leg. They get used to that. So without a partner, it's in your stance, you just whip that leg around. Back up to your stance, back step, and whip that leg around. Make sure it's back step, go surfing, knee down, whip. Back step, go surfing, and whip. Okay? That's our sweep single. Next is defense. Of course, we teach a sprawl. You have your ways of teaching a sprawl. But one of the first things that I emphasize is stuffing that head. That's the #1 goal in defense. If I have to sprawl, sometimes I don't have to sprawl, I can do a down block. But if it gets to my legs and I got to sprawl, well, #1, stuff that head. Then get my weight on top of them. Now, sometimes, and here's what I want to be particular about and emphasize. Sometimes when you stuff the head, you can also move the head to another position. So if he shoots inside, I'm going to move the head, stuff the head, move the head outside. Or if he shoots outside, I'm going to stuff the head, move the head inside. Okay? Actually, I don't stuff the head first. I move it first, then I stuff it. So let's start with a head inside single. So he shoots a head inside single. He's on his knees. I'm going to take my hands, put them on his cheek. I'm going to pop my hips to create distance, and then I stuff that, or I move the head to the outside. Boom. Now, if you notice, my hand stayed on him. I'm still putting a lot of pressure on that head. So watch here. See my hand? It's straight. I'm pushing down. Got my hands just like this, trying to pinch his ears together, and I'm pushing that head straight down. What you don't want to have is you don't want to have something like this, right? Just move the head and I let go. Well, now I just moved him into a high crouch and he's going to finish a shot. So I move the head and I keep it stuffed. That's the idea. So, boom, here, and then what I'm going to do, loosen up your grip a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is, same time, I'm going to turn into him. My knee's going to get into his rib cage. I'm going to give him a nice big fat belly whizzer right here. Boom, right here. Now, I'm not going to stay in this position. I'm just basically cocking my legs to sprawl on him. I'm going to pop my hips, sprawl. I'm going to dig my toes in the ground. I'm going to separate him from my hips. I'm going to try and push him over here. And he should, be in a pretty bad spot after that. So right here, I don't stay here, otherwise he's going to finish on me. This is just like basically a split second, and I just go boom, right here. Straighten those legs, hips goes in, squeeze the glutes. Now he's in a world of hurt. I can get my 2 points, my takedown. So one more time, just a head inside single. Boom, move in. Okay? Try to do about 50% resistance. So here's what it looks like fast. Head inside. Back up. Head inside single. Okay, real physical, real brutal. Stuff it, or move the head. Pop those hips, move the head. Keep it stuffed. Turn it in really forcefully. Knee goes in the rib cage, belly whizzer, and then I'm popping my hips and extending my hips, squeezing those glutes, hips out, hips extended, as I'm trying to separate him. If he's right here, I want him to end up right over there. Okay, if we're on our knees, I'm going to go on our knees. So here. Okay, so if we're on our knees, and I'm in that position, this is just hips cocked. Okay, it's like pulling the cock on the gun. I still got to shoot the gun. I can't be here for maybe a millisecond, or else he's going to finish on me. So I get here, leaving those toes in the ground, just going to extend my hips, separate him from me. Right there. And then I can spin around and get 2 points. All right. When you pair that with stuffing the head or moving the head, it's really effective. Sometimes you can move the head and they'll just go flying right off the bat. You do it so hard that they're so surprised. And then you got the same thing going if he shoots a high crouch. If he shoots a high crouch, shoots the high crouch, same concept. Pop the hips, move the head, stuff it, and this time I'm going to get square. I'm going to square up to him, my hips right here. So, boom, right here. I keep the head stuffed, I'm not letting it go. I sprawl, get square on him, and then same sort of concept, except I'm going to jam the knees and straighten my legs. Right here. Real forcefully. I don't want to keep, grab my leg, I don't want to keep my hips like this. There's no pressure on them right now. See how my butt's out? I'm going to jam those knees, get to hip pressure really quick, right here. And now if he still has a hold of my leg, that's fine. As long as I keep these knees jammed, he's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to ratchet my hips in a couple times, and that should, you know, convince him to let go. So go ahead and grab my leg one more time. So I'm going to ratchet my hip in like this, and then I'm going to turn my hip out one more time here. And each time I keep pressure on the knee, but I'm separating my body from him. So in, out, in, out. And then once he breaks the grip, I can do forehand locks, do whatever I want. If he's really, really strong, if he's really, really strong and that ratchet isn't working, I'm going to keep the hips in, keep the pressure on him, but I'm going to reach back, I'm going to pry his fingers loose. I can't do three fingers, I'm going to go 4 fingers, and I'm just going to rip it loose, fight those hands, and now I can high leg over and spin behind. Okay, so you can reach back and fight those hands. And you can do that a number of different ways. Grab right here. Other leg. Okay, sometimes, this time, his outside hand is on top. So all I got to do is just dig under the wrist, straighten this leg, and pull the hand up. Like that, it comes loose. Okay? So that sometimes that's as simple as that. But if he's got a reverse grip, which I don't think he really should, but sometimes they do. Yeah, sometimes they got something like this. You'll have to, well, I can't reach back and pull the wrist this time. I got to grab his fingers in the other hand, pry that loose, and straighten my leg and get out like that. Okay? But the key here is when I sprawl on top of him, I got to keep this head stuffed. Guys will start out this way, but then they'll kind of forget, and they'll let the guy get his head out. As soon as Jose pops his head out, he's got the advantage on me. I'm going to overhurt. Okay, so keep that head stuffed. Keep it in the center. Keep your hips square on the guy. So the 2 moves that I'm really particular on as far as teaching is the sweep single, and then moving the head and stuffing the head on defense. A lot of different ways to defend the shot, but I do want you to teach that at least, so that when they get to the varsity room, they know how to do it. All right, thank you.